Hey, this is Dave Von Cloyce.
And Joyce Riley, and the subject is going to be the purpose of chemtrail aerosol. A.C. Griffith was associated with the National Security Agency. He carried a top-secret clearance, a cryptographic clearance, and in more recent times he was associated with the Central Intelligence Agency operations.
Several years ago, I got a telephone call from Mike Blair at the Spotlight newspaper in Washington, now called the American Free Press. He asked me to help work with him on the story of the white trails coming out of the airplanes. And time is going by. I guess that was 8 or 9 years ago. We actually got inside the program. We're the only people in the world that actually got inside of that program.
When you say you got inside that program,
the aerosol program, the chemtrail program,
you're talking about information on the inside of this program.
I'm talking about actually getting inside the program at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base where it's being managed.
Wow.
And we actually got into some of the people that were dissatisfied from within the program, and they divulged a lot of the acronyms and the purpose of the program and so on. And that's the only way that anybody could ever have broken the secrecy of this program.
Okay.
We know that people have died over this program. People have been hit to keep them quiet. And we know that other things have happened to keep people in this program. The white trail's not coming out of the engines. It's coming out of aerosol units on the aircraft. In the very beginning, the early days, the aircraft were flying relatively low, 10,000 feet or below, and they were developing the program. They were mostly contract aircraft, mostly CIA aircraft. Now the program has been expanded, and commercial airliners have been outfitted with aerosol units that are controlled through computer systems and satellites. It is very secretive. It is the most secretive thing I have ever encountered.
Well, let's talk about the chemtrail aerosols, because you did significant research, got into the program itself. And, sir, what did you learn?
It's not that simple, Joyce. It's a very complicated thing. You must know the people. You must know what they're capable of. You must know their operation, their intent. You must realize that you're dealing with people with no faces that haven't been elected. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're putting in those aircraft. The security on the substance going into the aircraft, there's very little security on that. Whatever somebody puts in the aircraft is going to come out of the aircraft. That's a real concern. The Environmental Protection Agency has been told to keep their nose out of it. On the state levels, the state various here in Virginia, it's the Department of Environmental Quality. I was told by high people in that they were told to leave it alone. Don't look at it. Don't look at the air quality when it comes to the aerosols.
A series of freak storms of red, blood-like rain have unleashed panic across the globe.
Well, a team of 6 specialist doctors have been appointed by the Ministry of Health to investigate the red rain experience in the Savanna-Gala area.
The government begins an urgent investigation. They rule out desert dust, blood cells, and algae. Now, the researchers think they're close to one of the greatest discoveries in the history of science.
This is potentially an extraterrestrial organism.
Whatever's in the blood rain is alive. Yet, unlike all known life on Earth, it's replicating without DNA. Could these tiny cells actually be alien? One clue is spotted a week before the red rain downpour in Sri Lanka. Villagers report seeing strange lights in the sky. A week after the strange lights appear, it starts to rain. Red rain. Professor Chandra Wickramasinghe thinks that there's a connection between the mysterious life forms in the red rain and the strange lights.
I think the cells in this red rain sample may well have come from the meteorite.
He's using a powerful electron microscope to scan the meteorite for red rain cells. If he finds them here, it could be the proof of alien life he's been looking for.
That's the potential red rain. That's the potential red rain there, isn't it? We are finding these cells right in the deep interior of the meteorite.
So, could these strange creatures pose a threat to human life?
The fact that the red rain cells have no DNA might be a cause for some concern, because these cells, if they interact with living cells on the Earth, might produce some harmful effects. So there could be a serious risk of a pandemic that might even wipe out the whole of mankind.
Still, no one knows exactly what these strange cells are and the precise threat they pose to our planet.
There's a huge amount that remains unexplained.